All right, thank you so much for being here in the tape group and in the the meditation part of the Awakening to the Light Within on our 9th day of this. And so today we have a meditation first, then a short moment of introduction to the video that we're going to watch. And so that's a full program. It's really great. It's really lovely. So take time for the meditation. All welcome. Great that you're here. Now we can start. Yes. So we start with the meditation, and it is a meditation coming from the Parenthesis in eternity. That always seems to be the place where I find them, or they come to me. And it's connected to the idea of initiation. That is also a theme in the Christian mystics this week. So that was great how that came together. For the meditation, we take time to just deeply, relax and become still, letting our whole apparatus of associative thinking for what it is. No more responding to perception, no more responding to what you see, what you hear, in the way that you used to say in your daily life. This is a different quality that is being presented. A different quality in the sense of, in this stillness, what is can speak to you. So allow that to speak to you and listen. And that sounds like, yeah, of course I'm going to do that. But still, it is a practice, and it really is like you do this with total dedication. And that gives you, your open hands, so to speak. If you're still distracted by something that you want to do or are going to do or have to do or something like that, that will just take away the attention. So it's like, leave that for just now. Be undisturbed, completely quiet. Allow yourself to go so deeply within like you never ever have before. There's no need to limit yourself in any way. So that is the practice that we do. That is where this meeting is for. And so it is like allowing the light within to shine and making a connection with that light by just stepping back, letting go, stepping back and relaxing into that, to the still space inside yourself. Quiet, peaceful, still, and spacious. It's spacious. It's like, allow that space to be there. Don't fill it up with anything. Allow that to be clean, open. It's like, put everything on the altar, but don't touch it again, like that. So, before I come to the lines that I will repeat during this meeting, during the meditation, I have a little introductory part of Joel that I like to read too. So life is eternal. The life of God is eternal. The life of God is infinite. There is only one life, and therefore that eternal life must be your life and mine. The very life that we are living is the infinite and eternal, and it is not dependent upon the action of the body. The action of the body is dependent upon life. Such a realization leads us to the period of transition where we move from existence in the body to an existence which is external to body and yet which governs the body. I'll read that one more time because you might miss some parts. It's full. Life is eternal. The life of God is eternal. The life of God is infinite. Therefore, there's only one life. And therefore, that eternal life must be your life. The very life that we are living is infinite and eternal. It's not dependent upon the action of the body. The action of the body is dependent upon life. Such a realization leads us to the period of transition where we move from existence in the body to an existence which is external to body and yet which governs the body. So this is all in relationship with the idea of initiation, like coming into Christ mind, coming into self-realization, coming to having a moment in which you are being lifted out of your, out of your life, like reference of limitation, being lifted out of that. That's a possibility. Because the life that you're describing to yourself is not your life. It's not your existence. It's like God is eternal, is an infinite life. That is what you are. So in this meeting, in this meditation, we will just go right there, so to speak, giving ourselves the opportunity to catch a glimpse of that or step into the full realization of that, allowing that to be our truth because we let go of the rest. I'm reading the prayer for today. So this is also part of what I just read, only it's like the next step. So I'll repeat this every 4 or 5 minutes like you're used to. Of my own self, I am nothing. There is a spirit within me that does the work. There is a presence. There is a power. I am a beholder of this invisible presence and power at work. I watch how it goes before me and witness the miracles it performs. Of my own self, I am nothing. There's a spirit within me that does the work. There's a presence. There's a power. I am a beholder of this invisible presence and power at work. I watch how it goes before me and witness the miracles it performs. Of my own self, I am nothing. There's a spirit within me that does the work. There's a presence. There's a power. I am a beholder of this invisible presence and power at work. I watch how it goes before me and witness the miracles it performs. Of my own self, I am nothing. There's a spirit within me that does the work. There's a presence. There's a power. I'm a beholder of this invisible presence and power at work. I watch how it goes before me and witness the miracles it performs. of my own self. I am nothing. There's a spirit within me that does the work. There's a presence, there's a power. I'm a beholder of this invisible presence and power at work. I watch how it goes before me and witness the miracles it performs. Wow. Wow. Thank you for joining me in that. So now everything is wide open for sure. So that's so lovely. So thank you, Mormon Choir, for sharing this song with us. Was a very intense one. Really great. It really opens something up. Wow, what an energy. So great. Thank you. Thank you so much for allowing this to happen to you, and say adding your joy to being raised up, and see what opens up for you in that. Like that in itself is everything already. So the next part, the tape group. The tape group is, the title is Malpractice and the Christ. That's a two-part title. So malpractice, it is 457 or so. I always forget the numbers of the tapes, but we will listen to it, so that becomes pretty clear then. So malpractice, that's an interesting idea that Joel teaches about it, not one time, a couple of times. So you see that the tendency for a human being is to grow your self-certainty, to say really trust your own judgment of things or situations, and trying to solve your own problems based on those say perceptions that you have. And with more force and with more certainty you can do that, people start to think about you like, wow, you really know what you want and how that looks. And what we read in the meditation, and just a little introduction piece, it says actually the opposite of what is wise, what is actually your place in all this. So it's not that you know where to go, what to do. It's not that you know what everything means. It's like that's not up to you. So it's like you become like the beholder. What you need to know is going to be given you, but you don't know. And that's a great, say, attitude in the spiritual awakening, because it takes away the trouble that you have to, say, hold on to your misperceptions, in fact, that you have to hold on to your lies in order to believe in yourself. Like you rather believe in lies than that you admit, like, okay, I was wrong, I don't know what to do with myself, and I have no idea how to respond to any situation. See, that's an honesty that you don't come up with as a human being right away. But why I'm sharing this is it's like it's an essential step in the awakening, because of the fact that you don't know. And you don't need to know. Like you don't know what's the best for everyone. You don't know the plan for salvation that you are part of. You don't know what the plan is. So you also don't know how to move further or move on or make decisions. You don't know how to make decisions, really. So this just goes on and on and on. It's like, all right, so you live with an idea that your situation is under control. Like you think that you're under control in certain situations, or maybe in all situations. Like, no, I know what I'm doing. No, that's fine. You will see, it works out. And all this kind of defense, in fact, that you apply. And so this is all based on the fact that you think that you have to know and are in control, that you can actually decide for yourself what's the best for you. Now, how does that work out? How does that work out for you? My experience is that it is not working out that well when I trust my own decisions and think that I know. That is immediately like a no-go for me. Like, I walked sufficiently up against walls where I discovered, no, that's not the way. No, I have to decide again to do this differently, because this doesn't seem to resolve at all. It makes just a mess bigger and bigger. So, and that's the great part. So the part of malpractice that Joel is talking about is related to this, because in fact, he relates malpractice as, say, the youngsters that have heard something and use the words that they picked up and just, say, yeah, share it around, or use those words while they actually don't have the experience. Like, no, I'm the Christ. Well, do you have a Christ experience? No, I'm light and love. But do you actually experience light and love? You know, this discrepancy that can take place. So you're expressing yourself in a certain way while you actually don't even experience what you're sharing. And that's the same with healing, of course. So allowing that healing for yourself. Well, do you allow that healing for yourself? Are you willing to let that in for yourself? Not worrying about anyone else. So these things. So Joel is bringing this back into, say, a pragmatic and realistic setup, where you have to question yourself, like, hey, what the hell am I doing actually? I still believe this and this and this. I still believe that I know what's the best, or what I should do, or how it's supposed to look, and or how to do things, or what would be the best for anyone else. So it's good to start always with the fact that you don't know, and see. Recognizing that in yourself brings you actually to a place where you start to feel certainty. Certainty that you're in good hands and that it's not up to you. Like, the part that thinks it is something is maintaining that of itself, what we call ego. You know, it's like it's maintaining itself. It needs conflict, it needs to prove itself, it needs to scream, it must be loud, it must be always there, it cannot stop, it cannot be still, because it would stop to exist. And that's why it wants to be always the first, because if it has to wait, then it's gone. It has no place. So that's really interesting. So in situations where you actually experience that you don't know for sure what to do, then you might as well admit it, or say, have a humble attitude towards whatever is occurring, and wait and be patient, and say, choose the second place to gain the first. In fact, the first is then, you go before me. Let the light do the work. Let spirit do the work. Let that power and presence do the work, just like we saw in the meditation. Let that do the work. Allow that to allow yourself to witness that, because it's the only thing real that is occurring. Where you come up with in your own mind, and where you come up with as so-called solutions, on the same level as where you perceive the problems, is not going to bring you anything. You can save yourself a lot of time and a lot of energy. So not to believe that anymore. And not to say follow up with that, because it brings you in fear immediately. And so that's one of the things that Joel will share. And the thing about sharing spiritual ideas that you haven't experienced yet, he compares it to a parrot. It's like a parrot would be able to, and it's very funny, like a parrot would be able to do the whole Einstein thing, like E is mc square. He would be able to repeat that for you, but he would have no idea what this is about. So it's not about a form. It's not about voicing these words. It is about what is your experience. It's about the content and the connection that you feel when expressing it. So speaking from your own experience. And if that isn't your experience yet, not to speak about it, but listen. And be open to experience it. So that's really a helpful, beautiful instruction of Joel, and can be repeated enough. Because the tendency to apply what you learn here, like to apply this spiritual teaching, in fact, to apply it in a three-dimensional setup with duality combined, say perceiving it as good thoughts or something, will not work. It has nothing to do with spiritual consciousness. It has nothing to do with it. So yeah, that's good to know too, and to be aware of, and to say, check with yourself, like, oh my God, do I actually know this? No, I actually don't know what I'm talking about. I might as well say that, you know. So that's a real honesty that is very helpful for yourself, and that's great. So yeah. So we're going to listen to Joel, but first we will have a break, like a little temporary break, and 5 minutes or so, and yeah, we'll see it from there.